got my cozy sweater on. I'm ready to read. I read 12 books in January. Most of them, if not all of them, were for a video. So now I'm just ready to mood read. When I tell you that I'm so excited, that is an understatement. I went through my bookshelves 2 days ago and picked out 4 books that I want to just dive into today. Just read whatever I want, because I think I overdid my January TBR. And by overdid, I mean I actually read probably twice the amount of books that I initially thought I would. I think I tried in total over 20 books. I read books for videos most of the time. There was some sort of a project, and while yes, I'm reading this for this video, it's also a mood read video, which I desperately need. We have mixed genres and I'm so excited. Now, without further ado, I'm also going to talk about like a bonus book that I'm currently reading right now, which is a novella, Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. The first book is Queen Bee, and it is signed. I have it signed. So I'm currently 56 pages into this. It is interesting, but it's a novella, so I'm gonna be done with this soon. I have a goal of reading like 50 pages a day. I'm switching between books. I'm gonna introduce you to these books, but they are in no particular order, so I don't know what book I'm gonna pick up first or whatever. I want to reread Kiss the Fae by Natalia Jaster. This was, the writing I remember was tedious. This is a romantasy trilogy that follows 3 sisters. Each gets kidnapped by a Fae lord, and each lord is in charge of different things. One of them I think is in charge of the seas, one of them is the sky, and one of them is the forest, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. And each sister falls in love with each lord or whatever. I remember absolutely loving this book. I love the concept of 3 sisters and 3 Fae lords and all of that, so I want to reread it again. And then I want to finish this trilogy. It's taking me forever. Next up, I want to read this Fan Service by Rosie Danan. I just saw one booktuber talking about it, so I was like, this sounds fun, let me pick it up, because I was fresh off the Fake Mate train. I've just finished reading the Fake Mate on my flight to Tenerife, and it was so fun. I just want something that is not necessarily a very intense romantasy, high world building, all of that. I just want something fun, and this sounds fun. Then we have House Party by Chloe Ford. This is a contemporary. I want to read something mindless, something that is not fantasy. I don't mind fantasy, I just don't want high stakes, okay? I just want something where I can kind of turn off my brain and just read for enjoyment. And the only fantasy I have is Tenderly I Am Devoured by Lyndall Clipstone. Listen, I don't know what this is about. I bought it at Yelp and I want to read it. This is the book that I don't know why I chose to read for this specific video. I'm limiting myself to 4 books. Well, technically 5. That is enough. You are being pretty much spoiled with the amount of content that I'm going to be giving you, well, that I'm filming in January. Look, oh my god, I'm so freaking excited. I've been reading so much. I am so excited. Without further ado, I'm gonna read a little bit more of Queen Bee. I've been in bed lying reading. I am 131 pages into this book so far, and if I don't get called into work tomorrow, I am definitely finishing this. This is our main character Alex, who is a super fan of this TV show where the main character is a werewolf, and the actor of this TV show gets to meet her. Well, she gets to meet him, and they don't have a good meeting. He disappointed her on so many levels. She continues being a moderator on this massive website that is solely dedicated to this TV show, but that's it. Years later, when the TV show is over and she's out of school and she's actually working, this guy ends up turning into a werewolf, and he seeks her out to get her help because she seems to be some sort of know-it-all on werewolves, because she's a massive fan of his TV show. Yeah, together they try to find out things about being werewolves. I'm really excited to continue this. I'm flying through it. I missed these good mood reads. I missed mood reads. Reading whatever I wanted, whatever I need in the moment. I feel like I've been reading a lot of books this month and I missed the fun. That book right there is hard to read. It is heavy. Yeah, and then I reread Fourth Wing, so you know how my month is going. So I finished Fan Service. I stayed up until 1 in the morning to read 75%, and then as soon as I woke up, I continued with the rest. I really enjoyed this book. I am rating it, I think, 4.5 stars. In total, this is such a fun read, and it's exactly what I needed all this time. Now I have to decide what book I'm gonna read next, because this was an impulsive pickup right now. I was gonna read Kiss the Fae, but I want more paranormal contemporary romance books. I'll be the first one to admit that today has not been the most productive. And yes, I wear an absurd amount of black shirts that I'm trying to wear as much as possible because I'm trying to figure out what shirts I'm taking with me to this new country or not. But I think I hit a bit of a reading slump. I started reading Tenderly I Am Devoured. This is gothic, horror, and romance. I think because I hit a bit of a reading slump, I'm going to put it back on the shelf for now and not read it for this video. I want something that I can also listen to an audiobook because right now I read 13 books. I mean, I read this entire stack of books plus some more this month. Witch of the Wolves, I don't know, maybe, probably, I don't know. You know what, this has werewolves. I'm in a werewolf mood, so I'll take this. A Match Made in Hell looks fun as well. I mean, worst case, I can read Rejected, which is also werewolves, or Ride the Wave, which is just a contemporary, which would also be fun, but I think I'm looking for paranormal right now. Not to mention, I also have House Party, and I will be putting Kiss the Fae back on the shelf because I want to read it next month. I mean, I have The Night and the Moth. Ooh, okay, this one could work as well. The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. I think this one would be fun as well. So I have, I guess, a good stack of books with me right here. All of these are contenders. Again, this video is for fun. It's a mood read. Marjana, don't forget that. You can change moods anytime. I guess I'm gonna try one chapter of each. I've not actually been doing that well with Queen Bee. Actually today I have not been reading that much at all. I haven't made any progress with this book, which is fine. I will read it a little bit later. I'm still undecided. Well, I need to read book 1 and then from then on. I think it would have been maybe better if I just read book 1 first and then went with the novella, but either way, it is what it is. I have with me 6 books that I need to read. 1 chapter of each, and maybe until I decide which one is interesting enough for me to read, or maybe I'll try all of them and then I'll decide. I also came prepared with all the bookmarks that I need because I'm not getting up from this couch until I read at least a little bit. Book number 1, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. I didn't expect for chapter 1 to actually be this long. 25 pages long. But I read it. So there's a lot happening. This world, there's a lot of made up words and a magic system that I don't necessarily understand. But once the characters got introduced, that made it faster read. So we have an assassin who is sick, and we have a healer who comes from an enemy order or something, an enemy faction, and he needs her to heal him. But he has to pay a lot of money in order to have her heal him, and she doesn't necessarily agree to it. It's somebody else that agrees to it on her behalf, and she cannot say no to them. I'm moving on to the next book, which is House Party. House Party chapter 1 is done. I read 11 pages, and it's about Hattie, who got broken up with her boyfriend of however many years a couple of months before Christmas, and now she's spending Christmas with her family, and she just feels down because she's got nothing to show for it, and her ex just was a piece of, maybe I shouldn't say that. Well, now she's lost. She's 28 and she doesn't know what to do. This is what the chapter 1 is so far, but according to the blurb, she wants to change her life, so she goes away on a trip with her friends, and she's always had a crush on her best friend's older brother, but you know, she was in a relationship and there was never any sign that he liked her as well. But they go to a cabin, all of them, to celebrate New Year's, and he starts noticing her, apparently. I would say this is the order: House Party over The Irresistible Urge. So if I were to read 1, it would be House Party. Next up I'm reading is Ride the Wave. Ooh. Nice. This prologue is 2 pages long. Let's see if it's enough or if I need to read chapter 1. I'm reading chapter 1 because the prologue doesn't give any information. If my face is shiny, it's because I have a face mask on that I will wash off in the morning. It's an overnight face mask. I took the liberty to read the rest of the books because the camera battery died. It took me about 30 minutes. I have not ranked them yet. Let's talk about each individual book. First, I started with Ride the Wave, which is about a journalist woman who is sent by a company that she is a freelance writer for to Portugal to interview the son of the proprietor of the company she's writing for, because he got into scandal like 12 years prior, then quit surfing. Now he's back on the scene and they want to write a piece on him, on his return, on basically his redemption. So she's sent to Portugal to interview him, but he's not very cooperative. Now, out of the 3 of these, I would rank this below House Party. So most likely to least likely to read. Next we have Rejected by Jim and Eve. I'm just gonna give a disclaimer. I don't remember the main characters' names. There were so many characters here. I will just tell you. The main character, the girl, she comes from a werewolf family, and her dad tried to kill the alpha, I think, but he didn't succeed, so her family is disgraced. And so she becomes a punching bag, instantly like falling down the ladder of popularity. From what the blurb says, she gets rejected by her actual mate, who is the current alpha's son. She gets saved by the shadow beast, who they all, I think, worship. I think the shadow beast might be the love interest here. I'm not really big on typical mean girls, like bitchy characters. That feels like so 2010s and early 2000s, when characters have no depth. However, I don't know what it was, but I'm putting it on top. I think I might read this book. So far it was the best, but I don't know why. I think I'm just into werewolves right now. Also, I have to say that I read chapter 1 and 2 because chapter 1 was too short, and I needed to read chapter 2 to actually get more of an insight into this book. So I read 2 chapters. Now the next book that I read is A Match Made in Hell, and I read chapter 1, which was also short, 5 pages, but it's basically an introduction where our main character goes to hell. That's it. Like, that's all you find out in chapter 1. She dies and meets a demon. Now from the blurb, it says that she ends up waking in hell. She is desperate to escape, so she's forced to strike a bargain with its devilish ruler. And the deal is complete 7 tasks, resist the 7 sins, and Willow will earn her ticket back to the land of the living. But the rules aren't as simple, like playing by them isn't that simple, because like Satan, whatever, he is temptation incarnate, so she finds him really hot. I think out of all of these, because I read the least amount of pages, I think I would rate it, I'll put it here, under Ride the Wave. Then we have Witch of the Wolves, the last book that I read. 8 pages, well, 7 pages in total. It's about our main character, who's a witch, who gets stalked by this stranger, and he wants to talk to her. That's what I got from chapter 1. However, later on we find out that his name is Bishop Danvers, and he kidnaps her to bring her to her estranged father, who is the alpha of a werewolf pack, because they need to get her before any other like foreign pack gets to her. So she's in danger, but also she's not very welcome in her pack, and her arrival is met with, well, disdain. And as danger closes in, she wonders if the man who ripped her from her life could be the one to save it. When it comes to this is my ranking. And so the most likely book I'm gonna read is this one, then 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 this one, depending on how far I get. I don't know if I'll read all of these for the video. However, I'm gonna try to read as many. It is 11 p.m. I have to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna read a little bit and then I'm gonna go to sleep. I finished Rejected. I stayed up until 2 a.m. to read about 65% of Rejected. Then I woke up and I finished it. I have to go to work soon. I think I'm going to rate it 3.5. It was decent, but there were a lot of questions that I have that were not answered. There is also the question of the guy voicing the audiobook, because after a while I switched onto the audiobook before I went to sleep. Ended on a cliffhanger, and so I don't know, like, I'm probably gonna continue while I also read the other books for this video, and I might give you the commentary for that next book as well. As I introduced it to you, it's about our main character, who is a werewolf, whose family is disgraced when her dad's attack on the alpha goes wrong. In the end, she ends up being the true mate of the alpha's son, and she gets rejected. Then she opens this like portal or whatever to shadow beast, who is kind of their deity, and so she gets kidnapped by him, and then she gets thrown into this like library thingy, this middle world, I guess, between other worlds, with the shadow beast. It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast retelling. I think it actually is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Yeah, it was a portal fantasy, which I did not expect. I didn't expect it to be that, to have fae, to have angels, to have all of these other creatures. I would have maybe preferred it to be only about werewolves. I have a werewolf craving going on, and this did not satisfy it, I guess. 3.5 stars. Moving on, as decided yesterday, I have these books. The next one is House Party, which is a contemporary. Completely not the werewolf book. However, I will continue with the second book called Reclaimed, while I also read this book. Once again, this, I think, features the best friend's brother trope, so we will see how I get on with it. So I'm ready to go to work, hence the uniform. I am 37% done with Reclaimed, the second book of the Shadow Beast series. I don't know how much I can tell you because I'm worried it's gonna be a spoiler. In book 1, basically our main character Mira, she gets taken by the Shadow Beast, and he has this task for her that she needs to open a gate back to his world, which was closed, and he was betrayed and basically cast out. And so in book 2, we basically visit his world and try to figure out what kind of creature Mira is to even have the power to do a lot of other stuff, and she's more than a werewolf. She's a bit of an enigma. That's where I am. I don't think I will try to actually explain more about this book because I don't want to spoil too much. Now, before I leave, I'm going to take House Party with me, and I'm gonna read a little bit on the train. Unless I meet with friends on the train, then I guess I will read tomorrow. House Party. I read 276 pages of this book. I'm almost done with it. I have about 50 pages left, let's say. Yeah, 50 pages. And so far, like, I'm just saying, it's a 4.75 star read. It's about our main girl, Hattie, whose best friend is Sam. And they've been best friends since they were 12, I think. Sam has an older brother named Freddie, and they've never gotten along. Their parents were a major factor because their parents got divorced. Sam refused to speak to their dad. Meanwhile, Freddie did, and he kind of has been a villain. Freddie was the kind of didn't want to take sides, was the neutral one in the divorce, and Sam always resented him for it. So the two of them had a very strained relationship. Also, growing up, Sam and Freddie didn't really get along. Sam made Hattie promise him she would never like Freddie, even as a friend, or like just in general, never liked him. They are enemies. So Hattie was like, hell yeah, sure, I'll be on your side, you're my best friend. The way this book is written is one chapter is usually from the past and one is from the present. And I don't like that. I hate that. But with this book, every past chapter includes a moment with him, with Freddie. Throughout the years, the two of them have just had these moments here and there, and it's always New Year's. So Sam's birthday is on December 31st and Hattie's birthday is on January 1st. So every year they get together and they have this birthday party, but also New Year's, but it centers around their birthday mostly. And somehow a lot of the times Freddie is always there, and there's always a moment. And I find myself enjoying the past so much that when it's over, when the moment is over there and we jump to the present, I'm like, oh my god, I want to be in the past. But then the present is so nice and I'm like, why did we jump back into the past? It's so amazing. I am loving this book. This is gonna be one of my favorites. I'm just telling you, the way it's written, it's so sweet and like so cute. And yes, so basically in the present, Sam and Hattie, they decided they're gonna have a New Year's trip to celebrate their birthdays. So they're going with their friends, and Freddie somehow comes along because the two of them are trying to fix their relationship, their sibling friendship. And Hattie has been pining after Freddie for years, and she's always been his younger brother's best friend, so Freddie never noticed her. And yeah, I'm so enjoying this book, and I like the characters in this book, and I like the friendship. And where they're going is to this like remote cabin in the woods with a hot tub, and it's snowing, and it's just this perfect winter atmosphere that I wouldn't even mind returning to in summer. This is not a typical holiday book. It's actually so much more because it's not centered around New Year's, it's centered more around their birthdays. I finished House Party, 4.75 stars. This was so cute. This was actually really, really cute. I never thought that I would ever be keeping a holiday book, even though like we previously established this is not exactly what that is. This is too cute and for me not to keep it. Back on the shelf it goes. I'm going to take it with me to my new country. We still have Queen Bee, which I made no progress on, and we have Reclaimed, which is book 2. I'm not really that hyped for Queen Bee, so I'll probably leave it to the end. I'll finish this, I'll finish Reclaimed, I'll read Ride the Wave. It is 25th of January. I still have to go on annual leave. I don't know where I'm going. I might go to Spain, I might go to Slovenia, I might go to Bratislava, I might stay here. Until the end of the month, I've given myself a set time until the end of the month to finish as many books as I can. Probably not all of them. I'm hoping at least Match Made in Hell. These two I'm fine with leaving for later. So 4 books. I think I can do that. I think I can finish Queen Bee today actually, if I really try. 4 books in 6 days, less than 6 days. I can, yeah. And then these, I think I will put back on the shelf anyway, because, okay, why am I even forcing myself to read? I'm not in the mood for these books right now. And they're back on the shelves, which means 4 books, we got this. I finished Queen Bee by Juno Dawson. This is a prequel, a novella before the first book in Her Majesty's Royal Coven series. I don't really know how I would rate this. I don't even know if I should rate this because it's a novella, because I didn't read the rest of the book. So standalone wise, I think I would rate it 3 stars. It is quite compelling, but also, I don't know. It follows our main character, kind of Grace. We have multiple point of views. Grace, who was in love with Anne Boleyn, and they were lovers and friends and among many other things. And Anne Boleyn in this book is a witch. They're all witches. They have a coven, but they get betrayed and Anne Boleyn dies. Grace is trying to find her murderer, and it's all written in past chapters and present chapters. I will rate it 3 stars. I'm currently not in the mood for anything so serious. I just want to read contemporary, and that's it. I have made no progress today with Ride the Wave, which I think I will just sit down now and read. And I haven't been reading anything else except this today. I've been to the bookstore though, and I bought 2 books, but I'm not talking about those because they will be in a book haul maybe in June, because I'm planning on doing 2 book hauls. One is going to be from January to June, and then from July to December. We continue with Reclaimed and Ride the Wave. I read 15 chapters, so 176 pages of Ride the Wave, and I'm enjoying it so far. We are following our main character, who I keep forgetting her name, Iris. Iris and Leo. So Iris is a journalist, Leo is a surfer who used to surf as a pro, and now he's back to compete. His mother is very rich and owns a lot of magazines, and Iris was sent on the request of his mother to interview him because his mother has been in scandal and needs some good publicity, and it starts with fixing her son Leo's reputation. Now Leo is very guarded. He doesn't like to talk about his childhood or his past or his life in general, so Iris needs to find ways to make him talk because she only has 2 weeks in Portugal to write a piece on him. It is also very clear that the way that they connect is not the same way that she would normally connect with the other people that she's interviewing. Normally what she would do is she would talk a bit about the sport, and she would let them take the lead and talk about their passions until they got comfortable. But with Leo, he doesn't want to talk about the sport. He doesn't want to talk about much. So her approach this time is one that she doesn't expect, which is she needs to open up about herself in order for him to open up to her as well, because trust goes both ways, and Leo is clearly not a very trusting person. That's where I am right now. She also has this fear of swimming because she almost drowned when she was little, so usually normally she would go do that sport with the person she's interviewing. So she interviewed a skier, so she would be skiing alongside with him. But with Leo, she can't really do that because she's scared of the water. It's also about overcoming that fear and all of that. There's also this surfing competition that is happening, and a lot is riding on that. And so they are preparing for it. And yeah, that's it. That is how far I am right now. I will continue reading. Hopefully I'll finish it today. A part of me wants to kind of switch to A Match Made in Hell. I just feel like I need a switch, but it would be really nice to read Reclaimed. So I think I'm just in the mood to switch between different books. Yeah, I'm liking how where this one is going. I would say the writing is not as fun as House Party. It is a bit heavier. So I'm gonna read this a little bit, and then I'm gonna hopefully make progress on Reclaimed. I've got a lot of videos to film today, and I'm completely unprepared. Yesterday I read 3 chapters of A Match Made in Hell, and I'm going through this weird reading mood where nothing really hits. So I'm putting this one back as well on my shelf. I will be finishing Ride the Wave for sure before the month is over. Then I went through my bookshelves and I've picked out 3 books that might interest me. Turns out I'm being very picky lately. I don't know what it is. I have 3 books here that I want to talk to you about. I want to try a chapter of each, and then one of them I'm gonna take to Slovenia with me when I go home for my annual leave. I have Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. This is the beautiful Lilac Libraries edition. Then we have 7 Deadly Thorns. Also, like, this is a Waterstones edition, exclusive and signed by the author. And then lastly, I have this, Embrace the Serpent by Sunya Mara. We have 3 books. I will later read a chapter of each and will let you know, because right now I am running short on time actually, because I need to leave soon. Okay, so I just came home from meeting a friend. Tomorrow I am working the longest day that I can work, and I am traveling the day after to Slovenia, and I think I will bring a camera with me. But today my friend and I went book shopping. I bought 5 books. In total this month I think I bought like 15 books. But I also read a lot of books, and I unhauled 13. You can expect a book haul, I think, in June. I haven't done any reading at all today. I will be reading Ride the Wave, of course, and Reclaimed today. However, I'm gonna be reading 1 chapter of all 3 books to decide which books I want to bring with me to Slovenia. So I think I'm gonna start with Embrace the Serpent, which is about the jeweler who imbues the jewels with magic, and then she gets found out and she needs to marry the prince, or whoever he is, the Serpent King. 12 pages later, and I finished chapter 1. It is about our main character who has lost her parents, her mother, and she's an orphan, and she ends up working as an assistant to the jewelsmith, and he ends up taking credit for all her work. she meets somebody who betrayed her. They go to her house, but she also meets this, what I think is the huntsman, who is pretending that he's not paying any attention. Like, he's a spy. He's not paying any attention at all, but he secretly is. And that's it. Like, he's just mentioned in this book. We mostly focus on our main character trying to be invisible and using the power of her jewelry that is magical to basically be completely anonymous, invisible. That's it. There's not much that happened in the first chapter, but I really like it. I'm going to read Seven Deadly Thorns. Okay, so chapter 1 is about like 7 pages. We get introduced to this prince who is just absolutely vile. They're enemies. The main character, Sinclair, is a witch, and we open up the scene of the book with him bullying this other guy at this academy, and she stands up to him because he gets away with it because he's a prince. Sinclair, she comes up to him and tells him to stop. Her composure slips a little bit, and he kind of sees her shadows. And he warns her to be careful how she speaks to him as the entitled prince that he is, because he knows now what she is, and then she decides to punch him. So I think that's how she gets in trouble. I think this book is a Snow White retelling, kind of, but with a twist. Last but not least, we have Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. Ooh, I like this. Damn, all black pages. On the cover is the Shadowbringer, and then we have our main character, Esmer. I love this particular artwork. It is beautiful. We are introduced to our main character, Esmer, whose family had to bury her sister because it was Esmer's idea not to drink this elixir that keeps them from the dream realm, or whatever you want to call it, away from the grasp of the Shadowbringer. Essentially, what I think happens is that they kind of get lost, then they start sleepwalking or whatever and committing crimes and all of that. It's basically a disease. Once you start dreaming, it is you start getting marked and you're too far gone. I don't know out of these books which one I would like to read. I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for Betrayal, because For She Is Wrath kind of was really heavy to read, so I think this I will put away. Now between these two, I prefer the writing of this to this, but this one is more fun. I'll give both of them more of a chance. I'm home finally, after being awake since 3 in the morning and getting home at like 7:30. It's been a long day. Such a long day, but I bring good news. I finally finished Ride the Wave. I can't believe I did it. I actually can't believe it, because halfway through the book, you saw me. I did not want to pick it up. It went downhill. A lot of things were not concluded. Like, there were a lot of loose ends that I just wish were tied a little bit more firmly. I think I'm going to rate it 3 stars. I'll keep it because it's a nice addition. I'm finishing Reclaimed today. I'm telling you, I'm finishing that book. So me and my bags are waiting to go to Slovenia. So far, I will have to say that I finished Reclaimed, and that book was not it at all. I didn't enjoy it. I don't know. It was just so hastily written. I didn't like the turns where the book was going, to be honest. I expected more. I will not continue with the series, and that ending was stupid. So I guess I'm a hater. I rated it 2 stars. It is my lowest rated book of 2026. I'm in Slovenia. My room is kind of a mess. I was reorganizing it yesterday. I can actually show you how many books I have in Slovenia. You can see them there, actually. Like, a lot of books. A lot. And then behind those boxes and over there, and there's actually 2 rows, 1 row in front, 1 row behind. If you think I have a lot of books in Austria, you haven't seen anything, because this is mine and my sister's joint collection, actually. And I'm in the process, because you saw the boxes, I'm in the process of shipping books to her. So some of these boxes are filled with books as well. 50 pages of Seven Deadly Thorns, and I cannot get behind the not juvenile writing. I just don't think the logic behind this book is very solid when it comes to, so we have 2 main characters, I don't know their names, Rose or what, however you say the prince's name, and Sinclair, and they are basically, now they have to fake date, otherwise she will get killed, and he has 7 days to figure out who killed his father and to stop the queen and save her because she's a witch. It's all just very complicated, but also kind of juvenile. I don't know. I don't really like the world. I don't like that it's set at an academy, and it's very, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a fantasy that I would enjoy. So I'm just gonna listen to my 6th sense and not read it right now. I decided I will take it back with me to Austria and take it with me to my new country because this is a signed copy. So I want to have it, it's special edition as well, because now is February already. In the end, I did read quite a few books for this vlog, but maybe not as many as I would have liked. I know I said I was going to limit myself and read 4 books for this video, but I ended up reading these 5 plus reclaimed. So in total 6 books. I really outdid myself. I feel so proud. It's February, so I'm in a bit of a reading slump. 1 week into February and it's not looking good, I'm gonna tell you. But I am still really proud because I read 18 books in January and these were just some of them. With that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked some of these videos or whatever, please check out my channel because I do put a lot of effort into it. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I really do like put a lot of time to read and film, and I know maybe my videos are not the most clear, my reviews are not the most clear, but I'm having fun and I hope that you're having fun as well. I do have one request. If you have more books like, let's say, The Fake Mate or Fan Service, where they are contemporary werewolf kind of romances, please let me know in the comments what else I should read because I'm really looking for more of books like that. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you. Have a good rest of your day and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye!